Hello, this is me. Hold on. I think I got it adjusted wrong. Okay. I think you all can see me now, hopefully. I can see you all. I was coming on here to give you guys a little bit of information on me. My name is Phyllis. I'm 51 years old. And no husband anymore, separated, divorced, whatever. I have 2 children, a girl and a boy. And I have 7 grandchildren. Yeah, it's a lot of them. I recently moved to Alabama a year, 2 years ago, permanently because of my grandchildren. So I moved from Louisiana and I moved to Alabama. Okay, on that note, I moved from them. I didn't move to them. I moved from them. Had to show my children they had to get a little bit more responsibility because a lot of grandparents are raising their grandchildren, and that's what I was almost doing. So I put that to a stop. I got out of it. So now I live in Alabama, and I am single, and I'm not looking. Do I want to date? No. I'm cool. I'm cool just the way I am. I came on here to tell you all about my story. My story. And the good part that came out of my story. The good and the bad. It had a lot to do with my story. Well, I moved to Louisiana in 1979. I met a man at an early age and I married him at an early age. I had 2 children. And the biggest hurdle that I had was racism. Racism was the worst in my marriage. And sometimes I think I'm not married because of racism. I say that to say this. We farmed over 1,000 acres of land. Black farmers. A lot of you all probably know about black farmers. So we farmed over 1,000 acres. The problem it was like, the problem was being black, going to a bank at that time. At that time, you could walk into a bank and you could say, hey man, I need a $50,000 loan. That was with the whites and whites. The black man had to jump over hurdles to get to where we needed to be. Well, it was times when I wanted to just give up and more, and my husband kept looking at more land and wanting more land, and he had every right to want more land. I know he did. But it was like it was a problem for black people. I mean, we had to get the most raggliest hippers. We had to get the combines that wasn't any good, the cotton pickers that wasn't any good. We had to endure with that. And it hurted so much when you pass by a Caucasian farmland and they got everything. They have their stuff wasn't in pieces. Theirs was in whole because they could go into the office and say, hey, Mr. Sam, or hey, Sambo, how them kids doing, y'all? How them kids doing? Y'all can come on by and eat supper with us if you like. Come on by. Bring your family on. All right. We'll be on down there. Country music be playing, and country music to this day really bothers me because I remember sitting in banks waiting on my turn to get into the office, but they're talking about their children, and they're talking about that big doe or that big buck they just killed, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get along and get this cotton and get this corn and get this stuff in the field. Mind you, I need herbicide, I need pesticide, I need all I can get. But in the rural area, in the South, deep down in the South like that. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying all white people. Let me tell you, if it was up to me, I would wear them. I probably would. If a man came to me right now and they were white and I loved them, I wouldn't even care. Color makes me no difference. But moving to the South, it was a big difference. It was a big difference. Well, that time we needed loans. We couldn't get them. We couldn't do anything. They were the one that owned everything. And like I said, you couldn't go into no office and sit there and talk to them like you would. Well, how's your grandson? Oh, no, you didn't do that. You didn't do nothing like that. No. Because you were black. You couldn't do that in the South, down there in the country where I was from. So when you do get your turn, mind you, Mr. So-and-so then went in there and got him probably $500,000, right? Mr. So-and-so then got him $500,000. And when we go in there, you got to do flips. You got to bring this paper, bring that paper back, do that, have it, take that. Wow, really? It was times I had grain in the field, cotton in the field. I had nobody to harvest it. Me and my husband, we couldn't get that stuff harvested. But the white man, all that stuff was harvested. All of it was harvested. When they said they wanted it out, they got it out. Okay. So, when we sooner or later got the loan, mind you, a lot of time my cotton didn't weigh worth nothing. It didn't weigh anything. The weight was off because the winter and the water and the grass, took it away. We had disaster years that wasn't even disaster, but it was very disastrous for us. But a lot of white people cut a whole lot of corners. When I say they cut corners, they get payments every year for just planting cotton. And a lot of these people a lot of them didn't need it. And a lot of these Caucasian people go in there and make loans. They actually make loans in their children's name and don't even have to do any jumps. Oh, I went through a whole lot. But this one particular time, my house, this is how come I know that God really works. I had my house built for a couple of years. And they said that we needed to have a payment done. Mind you, we could barely make ends meet. Barely. And we needed all the money we could get. And my kids did without, but it always was a ram in the bush. I thank God for the lady that was in our life that helped us. And they sent me a foreclosed note. They were going to foreclose on all the land, the tractors. Mind you, the tractors and stuff was pieces. They wasn't any good. So-and-so over there, he was black. He was piecing up stuff, and he was trying to make it. He was a black man, but yet still he was on the white man's side. Y'all get me what I'm saying? I'm not blaming all white people. But this man just did not like his own race. Matter of fact, I don't think he liked nobody's race. But anyway, he was piecing and putting stuff together, so I decided one time, guess we'll go back. We went and got another loan again. I said, okay, then I'll do it in my name. I'll try to get this loan, and I need to get this stuff in the field. Well, I did the paperwork. Oh, man. Doing the paperwork was hell. It was hell on black farmers. Man, I promise you, you can walk into the FHA office and sign a white man, just shake a white man's hand, white and white, shake a white man's hand, and you got your buddy that got you in there. See, I know this from offhand. Ain't nobody got to tell me this. I seen this myself. I know what it was all about. So, we had started the paperwork, and we did the paperwork. Well, 1 week, mind you, the paperwork was already approved for, what was it? I needed 100,000, 200,000. I really can't really recall. It was very, very hard, but we ended up, they sent a paper and said it was approved. 1 week went by. No money. Mom, my land needs to be broke up. It's time to break this land. It's practically time to start spraying. It's practically time to do everything and then put the seeds. I mean, we're so behind, it was ridiculous. And that was the way of living. That was the way we had to live. Well, days went by. We called the main office. They called the office. Mr. Buddy was friends with his buddy, so he was hoping that we was going to give up. But oh no. That husband of mine just would not give up to save his life. He just would not give up. Plus this property is sitting there. Plus your people that you're renting the land for needs their money. Because we're renting all this land and you can only go so far with your tenants. They need their money. They got bills to pay. They don't want to hear because you black. Plus we were farming black people's land. So, you know, yeah, they gave us the land, but a lot of times when the white people try to come through there and they wanted it, you wasn't going to get that loan. Okay, months went by. I'm getting frantic now. I got my foreclosure for my house. My house finna be foreclosed on. It wasn't but 2 years old. My land finna be taken. I just planted my trees in my yard. My kids got a big yard. I'm in the country. They can play outside. I can have relatives over. I can have friends over. We got all this yard and we got everything. Well, this is making it hard on my marriage. This has really, I mean, every year you go through this, and for some reason, my husband at that time, he just was stubborn and he just would not give up. So at this time, I'm losing my mind because I'm trying to figure out where we're going to live. We just got this house. Where we going to live? He was kept telling me, Phyllis, don't forget about Job. Job in the Bible, he lost everything he had, but God gave him everything back. Sure enough. But this one time, this one lady at this time, particular lady, told me this. She knew I was losing weight. She knew I was sick. She knew I needed this loan. She knew it, and she was about in her 70s at the time. She said, Phyllis, stop focusing on the problem. All right, that was easy. That was easy for her to say. Did she know what I was going through? You know, at that time, I'm like, she don't know what I'm going through. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try it that way. She said, Phyllis, I need you to go to God one time. One time only. You ain't got to keep going back to him over and over and over and over again. Because he hears you. He hears you. He knows. He wants you to cry out to him. I went to him that one time. Okay. Then the next time, I thanked him. Just like she said, you go, you ask him one time, then you start thanking him. I say, Lord, I really thank you for this land paid in full. Lord, I really thank you for this, the land and the cars and all this paid in full. I thank you for putting more things into my life. I thank you for my financial blessing. And I did it for a while. I can constantly thank the Lord for it. And one day on PBS, attorney and Condoleezza Wright was on there. And I remember looking over at the TV, looking at him, and I said, God, I wish he was my attorney. You know, thinking out loud. Condoleezza Wright, you know, I don't know if I'm saying her name right or not, but you all know who I'm talking about. She was on there speaking, and it was all speaking on the black farmers and how we were being used and abused. And you listen to some of these black farmers' stories, they put tears in your eyes. My story wasn't nothing compared to their stories. They were treated really bad. Our ancestors, when you sit back there and look at it, that's like I'm on understand, not getting off the subject. When black people get a hold to a piece of land, don't sell it. Keep it. You can't never make no more land. As long as you got that land can do something for you. With your mama and daddy and all of them worked really hard to get it. And these young ones are taking it and just selling it really dirt cheap, which makes no sense at all. Maybe they don't need it, but it's a different way to do it. I don't know. Maybe I need to learn down the line, you know. It was hard for black people to get land, but the young ones just got it. The older generation kids, the older ones, and then the children end up with it, and they end up selling it for like, I don't know, dirt cheap. That hurt it so bad, and they would actually sell to the white man. They wouldn't sell to the black man because they know the black man didn't have that much money, so we couldn't get it because, you know, the banks wasn't going to give us that much money. But Mr. So-and-so little son over here that just turned 20 wasn't no problem for him to buy 200,000 or 300,000 acres of land, and we couldn't even get 15 acres. What's wrong with that picture? But anyway, after looking at that, not trying to get out the subject, after looking at that documentary and looking at how those black people suffered, how they trying to get their land back and how they trying to farm, and they like farming. A lot of African American older men love to farm. Our ancestors, them, they brought us up off the land. They love to farm. So it went off, and I'm still praying my prayer. I was still praying my prayer. I did not give up on my prayer. Lord, I just thank you for it being paid in full, Jesus. I just thank you. So as my thinking process got, you know, I had to go to him. Then I started going to people in Chicago. I started thinking about how their Horizon Universal Christ Temple, that's the one that helped me so much, to help me get through. They would be on a prayer line. Some of them would come on the phone and give me little things I could do. Get posters. Start posting stuff. Putting it on posters as what you want. Get magazines. Get glue. Get crayon. Start putting your vision on paper. Put your vision down. See it. Know it. Believe it. And I'm telling you, this stuff really works. But at that time, I didn't really believe it worked. So what I did it, and I felt better. I started feeling a whole lot better because I was motivating my time toward that. See, God was getting me through it. The problem was there, but he was making me okay with the situation. He was making it okay for me to keep going. Oh, I'm at work and I'm studying, praying, and I did it for a while, like I said. One day, I got a phone call. That's when we had phones in every room. Y'all remember that? And if you didn't have phones in every room, you had a cord that could run to the other room. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know. I said, I answered it, the phone rang. I said, hello, Mrs. Davis? I said, yes. You don't know me, but I'm the attorney. And I knew when he said his name, never heard from him in my life. But that's one attorney I wanted, the one I was telling you about on PBS. That is the one that I wanted. So he said, this is so-and-so. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. And at that time, I think I was like in probably a $500,000 debt I was in at that time. My house was just finna go up. It was, I mean, the foreclosure was coming quicker and quicker. It's nothing I could do, nothing we could do. And he said, number one, Miss Davis, I want to tell you, everything you got is paid in full. I'm like, what? I could not believe everything I had was paid in full. Oh my God, that means FHA was in trouble. Because I didn't tell you guys this part, and I didn't mean to miss that part out. What happened was, when I went to FHA and I could not get that loan, and they didn't give me that loan, plus we was approved, well, he made a mistake and gave me that paper. So I held on to that paper. Y'all start keeping y'all documents. Believe me, they come in handy. Well, he told me to prove it. The white man actually leaned back in his chair, in his office, and say, prove it. I said, man, we did the loan. What's the problem? Oh, he came in here and said he never want to farm. I said, oh no, my husband would never say nothing that stupid. So I held up, he gave me the wrong piece of paper. He didn't know any better, I guess. I don't know. Because he had put the whole thing in the garbage can. They did so many black farmers, put them in the back garbage. But anyway, he said, all my stuff was paid in full. And I just could not believe it. He said, where's your husband at? Do you have 2 phones? And I went and I said, can you pick up the phone? I say, please pick up the phone. I told my husband, pick up the other phone. And he picked it up. He said, this is so-and-so. I was calling you to let you know all your land, your house, all the debt you have is paid in full. We're finna get you and your wife a flight out of there and send you to Washington, D.C. We're going to sit there and we're going to talk monetary damages. At that time, I'm like, man, forget the monetary damages. I got me a house. I got a house. I got a house. I thank you, Lord. Ooh, Lord, I thank you for my house. Oh, my God. I started thinking even bigger and better visions after that. And I tell you, everything worked out. But while you're going through it, and I know that was a big something for me to go through, that was a huge something for me to go through. And after, even when we got the lawsuit over with, we were still fighting for other black farmers that was out there. A lot of black people got used and abused out of that land. I know that we're going to leave it. We got it and we're going to leave it. It'd be good to leave it to your generation, your next generation, so they have something to go on and go on and go on, so forth. You know, but after that happened, we shut down, I don't know how many offices. People came from all over, buses and stuff. Man, that brought, I couldn't believe it. When we protested up there where we were in Louisiana, and people was coming off from South Carolina, New York, you name it, all of them was coming. I didn't know that many black people exist that wanted to know that black farmers exist. And we shut the place down. And we wanted to be heard. And we got heard. But we still need more. We still got a long ways to go. But if we stick together, we can do it. We can do it. I'm not just saying, you know, for black people. Because the way it is now, it's like, hold on, y'all. Right now, it's like, it's changed a whole lot. I'm trying to figure out where I was, because the phone interrupted me. But, after a while, it's not going to even be erased. A race. It's not going to be of a color. Because where I'm at now, you have Mexicans and white. You got black and white. You got Indians and white. You got everything. It's not going to even be a race eventually. And I know by the skin tone, the color that I am, it was some white in me. So eventually, race is not going to even exist. Is everybody going to be mixed up with everything? Now they say 5 little bitty drop of blood, 5% of your blood. If it's black, you're black. If you're white, you got a little bit of percent of black. If black in you, you're considered as black. So I figure it's not going to be a thing about race. I used to wonder, was one of my kids going to marry somebody white? It didn't make me no different. I promise you. It didn't make me no difference if my kids would have married somebody or got with somebody white. Shoot, my granddaughter at first, when she was born, I thought she was mixed there for a little bit. I don't care what color race you are. I don't care. All I care about is treat people fair. Don't really look at the skin tone. We bleed just like everybody else. Indians, they went through I don't know how much hoopla. They had to fight for what they wanted. It's time out for this now. Life is just too short. Everybody seemed like anybody that was not the race of black, we had to fight. And that is so sad. That's really sad. Being black. And guess what? I love my race. Let me tell y'all something. I wouldn't trade my race for nothing in the world. And I wouldn't trade my friend Susan that's white. I wouldn't trade her to be black. I love her just the way she is. I wouldn't trade nobody's life. If you come here, you sit here, you eat out of my fork and spoon, guess what? I wash it just like I would if I did with a black person the same way. Because I love me some white people. I love me some black people. I love me some Mexican people. Indian. I love them. So anytime you ever see me, come up to me and you give me a hug. Because your hug feels just as good as the white man's hug feel. Well, your hug, the black hug feel good. The white hug feel good. The Indian feel good. They all of them feel just the same to me. And if I had a blindfold and they blindfolded me and they had a different school of races, why couldn't I see? Just don't let me touch your hair because I can tell what color you is then probably. I don't know. I got to think on that one. A lot of people wear weave now and it kind of feels silky like. But if I had to hug you with a blindfold on, I wouldn't be able to tell your race. I wouldn't be able to tell it at all. So all I do is say, I love you from the bottom of my heart. I don't care who you are. And one of these days, we're going to all come together and going to figure out that race does not mean anything. But stop looking at it so much. And I really believe who's looking at it is the older generation of the Caucasian family. They're dying out anyway. The Klansmen are dating black people now. They might have them sheets over their head, but they still got somebody black. Believe me, they just a cover up for y'all. I'm telling you, I know. It's a cover up for the white people. That's what it is. It's a cover up. But no matter what, it's all in love. God did not create us to be divided so bad. We are supposed to be in unity. And that's together. And that's love. That is love. And I have so many people that help me, the white people that help me. That's love. I have black people. I have white people. Oh my God, ain't nothing but love. Hell, I'm telling you one thing though. I'm going to tell you this. If you don't like me, believe me, you keep being around me, I'll change your mind sooner or later. Now, I ain't going to beg you to like me now. But believe me, your mind will definitely change. Definitely. I just had this big blow up thing that happened to me on the other video. Guess who fixed my car? Was it white or black? You tell me. That's all I got to say. You know, if I say things, don't make a difference. Stop being so judgmental on different stuff. Who you think you may not need, you may just need. Be careful. Okay, let's do some more of this. Be careful of the bridge you burn, because you just may have to cross it. Don't burn that bridge. Don't burn that bridge. I done did this before, and I can't cross it no more. And I know y'all have too. Be careful. Always leave some leeway in there. Do not burn that bridge. You just may have to cross it. And the white people out there, I know all y'all ain't out but dislike black people. Black people out there, all white men do not hate us. All white men do not hate us. They're putting all white people in the same pot. People used to say, yeah, but they some scoundrels. They some scoundrels.